What's up guys, Learning with Rich here. In this video, we are going to modify a standard component family by creating parameters, and we are also going to add geometry on our model. So as you can see here, I have this door family, very simple door family. So this is in the 3D view. So let me change my detail view to fine and shaded. So this is how it looks like. So what we are going to do, we are going to add some parameters, and then we are going to add geometry on our model. So for this one, we're going to add here a kick plate. Okay, here in this area. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. So let's get this thing started. So I'm going to open my elevation view. So from the elevation, I'm going to open the interior view. So by the way, on my floor plan, so this is how it looks like. So this is the floor plan view. Okay, so let's go to the elevation view. So let's open up the interior. So as you can see here, the view shows the door in a host wall. So there is a wall here along with the reference planes, which is this color green here, and then we have here dimensions. Okay, so let's modify our model here. Okay, so to do this, we're going to we're going to add a reference plane. Okay, so from the create tab, so you see here the datum panel. So I'm going to select here reference plane. So I'm gonna select this. Okay, and then using the line tool, I'm going to draw a reference plane from here up to here. Okay, actually the length of your reference plane doesn't matter, so we are just going to use this as our guide. Okay, so after I draw my reference plane, I'm going to add dimension here. Okay, so I'm going to add dimension. So when you modify the family, so you need to add reference plane that will serve as the skeleton of our model. And then later on, we are going to add the geometry that will serve as the muscle of our model. Okay, so let's create first the skeleton. So as you can see, I already have here the reference plane. So let's add dimension here. So align dimensions, I'm going to select the ground floor here up to the reference plane that I just created, and then I'll just click outside. That's it. And then I'll just select here modify. Now for this one, just like the other parameters that we have here, it's already created. So we are going to make this as a parameter. So I will call this kick height. So I can control the height of my kick plate. Okay, so how to make a parameter, just like the height parameter, light height parameter, top rail, side rail parameter, and light width. Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna select this, and then after that, you click this icon, create parameter. So let's click this one. Okay, so here on my parameter data, so I'm going to put here the name. So like what I have said, I will call it kick height. Okay, and then I'll be using here type parameter. Okay, so type parameter. So for me to be able to change the height of my kick plate, I need to go inside the type properties and then look for the kick height parameter. If you are going to select your instance parameters or instance parameter type, so all you have to do is to select the door and then look at the instance properties. For this one, I'll just select your type parameter, and then I am going to group these under dimension. So just dimension, just make sure this is dimension. And then after that, I'll just select here OK. And that's it. Just click outside. So there's your parameter. If you are going to the properties panel here, you can click family types. Click that one. So you will now see here your kick height parameter. So you can test this one out if this one is working or not. So to test this, just change the value. So let's say I'm gonna make this 400, and then I'm going to select here apply. And as you can see, my kick height here follows, right? So let's say I make this 600. So I'll select here apply. So as you can see, our skeleton here is working. Okay. So aside from specifying here the value of my kick height parameter by changing the value here, you can also make a formula. So let's say I want to base my formula based on the width. So this is the width. So let's say I want the kick height to be based on the width. So I'm going to make this like, for example, half of the width. So what you do is you type the exact name of the parameter here. So you just copy that and then you paste it here. So width over 2. Okay, so it is safe, or it is best practice to just simply copy the parameter here if you can copy. So instead of typing it, although that one can also work, but I always prefer to just copy it so that I am copying the exact name of the parameter that I'm going to use. So if it is capital letter, so make sure that one is capital letter as well. You can't make that like just small letter. So make sure the parameter is the same. Okay, so width over 2. So that's the formula that I would like. So if I'm going to apply this, so 920 divided by 2, that will gonna be 460. Okay, so 460. So I just select here apply. So change. So if I change here the width, so let's say I make this 1000, obviously the kick height will gonna be 500, right? So apply. So as you can see, it's changing here. Okay, so let me just put it back again to 920 and then apply. All right, and then just select here OK. So as you can see, our kick height parameter here now is working. So that's the skeleton of our family. Okay, so now the next thing that I'm going to do is, after we create the parameter, the kick height parameter, we are now going to create the geometry. But before that, let me go back again to my family type. And then from here, I'm going to create a new parameter. Okay, so this time, I'm going to call this kick. Okay, so for example, my kick plate, I'll just call it simply kick. Okay, and then after that, again, I'm gonna use here group dimensions, group parameter under. So instead of dimension, I'm gonna make this visibility. Okay, so I'll make it visibility, and then for the type of parameter, I'm gonna make this yes, no. Okay, the reason why I'm doing this, I want to control the visibility of my kick plate. Okay, so I want to have an option on my door family wherein I can make the kick plate visible, and I also can make it invisible. Okay, now for the type here of the parameter, I'm gonna make that instance. So I'm gonna show you the difference later on between the type parameter of our kick height and then the instance parameter of our kick. Okay, so I created the kick parameter here with a type parameter of yes, no. So that will gonna be the visibility. Actually, you can put this parameter in any group parameter. Okay, this one doesn't matter. So the reason why I'm just selecting here the name of the group is for tidy, to tidy up my parameter. Actually, it does matter. So to tidy up your model, so make sure you put it on the correct grouping. Although if you accidentally place that to your general, you can always change that one. So like if I put it on the general, so if I select here OK, so as you can see, it's now under general. But I can modify that. I can select this, edit parameter, and then I can change here the group. Okay, so I can just make that visibility. I want my parameters to be tidy, and take note that you can't change anymore the discipline here and then the type of parameter once you selected okay. You can change the type or instance here and then the grouping, but you can't change anymore the discipline and then the type of parameter. So if ever you accidentally selected okay and then you want to change the type parameter, just simply delete this one and then create a new parameter. Delete is this one. Okay, just click that parameter and then just click this icon. It will delete the parameter. Anyway, so it's now on the visibility parameter. So I'm gonna select here okay. There you go. So it's now under the group visibility, and then I'll just select here okay. So right now we are not going to apply this visibility parameter to our 3D model because we are going to create the geometry for our kick plate. So I'll just select here okay first. There you go. So now the next thing that I'm going to do is we're going to create now the 3D model, the geometry. So we're going to place it here, this face, to this face of our model, to this panel. So we're going to place there our geometry. Okay, so let's do this. So let's go to the create tab. Let's select extrusion. And then when you select extrusion, so I'm going to select here set work plane. So let's select set work plane, and then I'm going to pick a plane, and then I'm going to select here okay, and then I'm going to select this face. So make sure this face is highlighted just like mine. So it's highlighted in greens, because if you're going to move it here, so this is the one that is being highlighted, right? But this is not the face where we want to create the geometry, but this face. That's why make sure it's highlighted. So make sure select elements by face here is activated, not like that one because it's turned up. So make sure that one is turned on. So make sure this is on. Click that, and then pick up plane. Okay, so make sure that's on, and then let's pick this face here. There you go. So our work plane is now on this face, so we can now create our extrusion. So rectangle, so I'll just pick here and then pick here. Okay, so do not click or escape. So after you create the rectangle, so you can see here a padlock icon. So just lock it. Lock, 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 lock. Why? So that if we change the kick height parameter, our 3D geometry will follow as well. If we change the width of our door, you change the width, so it will follow our the geometry, or our kick plate will follow as well. That's why we lock it. And another thing that you need to specify is the thickness of your plate here. So for the thickness, 250 is too thick. So just make that, let's say 3 millimeters. Enter. Okay, and then I'll just select here, check to finish edit mode. There you go. Then let's click outside, and then let's check this one out in 3D view. 3D view, let's orbit. So that's our kick plate. So it's too thick because of our thin lines. So I'm going to turn off my thin lines. So there you go. So that's your 3 millimeters. So let's make it like fine, and then let's make it shaded. There you go. So there's my kick plate now. So remember, we created the visibility parameter kick. So we are now going to apply that here. So I'm going to select this 3D model, this geometry, and then after that, let's go to the properties, and then there's the visible here. You click that icon there to associate family parameter. You click that, and then select the kick, and then let's select here okay. There you go. So this is now associated to our kick visibility parameter. Okay, so let's say we are now done on our model here. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to save this one. So maybe I'll just save as this, as family. So this is my custom door, and then I'll I'll just save it on my documents, and then I'll just select here save. There you go. Okay. All right, so now the next thing that we're going to do, we're going to create a new project, and then let's test out the custom door that we have created. So let's create a new project, new architectural template. Okay. And then I'll just create a wall here. Create wall from level 1, level 0 to level 1. And then I'll just create a straight wall here. Or maybe I'll just straight wall. Just to test. Okay, so there's my wall. So I'll just change this type here. So I'll just make that basic. Alright, I'll just make it partition wall. There you go. Just simple wall. So this is now our door. So let's check this one out in 3D. Our wall, sorry. So there's the wall. So let us now go back to the floor plan. And then let's go to our door. And then let's load this to our project. So load into project. Okay, so there's our custom door. So I'm gonna put it now here. So I'll just put it here. There you go. And then I'll just select here modify. Okay, there you go. So as you can see, I am able to see here the geometry, right? Actually, I do not want to see this on the floor plan. I do not want to see this geometry, this kick plate on my floor plan. But anyway, let's check this one out. So let's check the 3D view. So there's the 3D view. All right, so let me just hide this. Hide category. Okay, so let's test this one. So if I click this, since our kick parameter, we selected instance, right? So you can see it here on the instance properties. So you have an option to make it visible and invisible, right? There you go. So I click again, kick, apply. So this is instance parameters or instance properties. That's why you are able to see the kick, because our kick parameter, we put that on the instance. So the height, we put that in the type, right? So if I select the door here, you go to the edit type, and then from here you can see the kick height. So let's say I'll just change the width here. So let's say I'm gonna make this 1000, and then since we lock that, you will notice our kick plate will also follow, and then you see the kick height here change as well. Okay, so it's working properly. So let's say this one is 2000. So it's working properly, right? So let's say this is 920 or 900, let's say 40. Apply. No, so it's working properly. And then I'll just select here, okay. Okay, so now the problem, let's say for example, I do not want to see this kick plate on the floor plan. Okay, I do not want to see that one. Okay, so to modify that, let's go back to the family editor of our door. So let's click the door and let's edit the family. Okay, and then after that, let us select that kick plate, and then let's modify the visibility settings. So let's click this. There you go. So I do not want to see that on the floor plan and reflected ceiling plan or RCP. That's why I'm gonna uncheck this. And I do not also want to see that when cut in plan and RCP. So I'm gonna uncheck this one. Okay. So for my detail levels, I want to see that when I make it coarse, medium, fine. So this is all good. I want to see the kick plate on my front and back elevation or left and right elevation, but I do not want to see that on the RCP or plan view. Okay. It will automatically display that in 3D view, so we don't have problem in 3D. It will always show that. Okay, then just select here OK. After that, let's save it, and then let's load it back again. Load, override, and there you go. So it's now invisible, or it's now hidden on our floor plan. Okay, but if we go to our, let's say, let me create a section here. There's the section. Let's flip the section. adjust. Let's double click the head. So there you go. So there's my kick plate there. Okay. SD for shaded. So again, you can click that. Properties, you can modify the kick. There you go. See then. Unhide. And then the other parameter is kick height, which we base on our width. Okay, so hopefully you learned something from this video, guys. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can put it on the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Okay, so thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.